Now let us know about the default parameters and rest parameters. We'll know about their definitions, syntax, examples, and what is the difference between both of them, right? So first, default parameters. So default parameters will allow you to give a default value to the parameters. So you can give the default parameter when you don't when you are calling the function, and when you don't give the values also, it will take the default value. Okay, so we'll know about it through example. So for example, we don't have any default parameter. Okay, so when you don't have any default parameter, here I am taking the function called greet. So here I have just took a variable but not a just a parameter, but it's not a default parameter. Okay, so console dot log off. So hello, uh, I'm going to take some space and then name. I'm gonna call here the name. So I'm gonna call a function now, greet off. So here I'm not going to call I'm not going to give any value for the variable, for the parameter name. I'm not going to give any argument for the parameter name, right? So I'm not giving anything. So let's run this code and see what will happen. Node index.js. So here you can see hello undefined, because we did not define any value, right? We did not give any argument here. So for example, if you give anything, you'll get that. Okay, here then this is the problem with the default, without default parameter. If we give default parameter here, I'm going to give the name of the parameter as Gayatri, and here I'm not going to call anything, and here in the next line I'm going to call like Pallavi, right? Here I did not used any argument, and here I used one argument. So when we have the default arguments, if you write any when you have the default parameter, whether you write any argument or not is doesn't matter, because when you don't write argument, it will take this one. When you write the argument, it will take this one, right? So here let's see. So here you can see when I first call the function, I did not wrote any argument here, so I have got hello Gayatri. So here I wrote the argument Pallavi, so I've got that. That's what. So if you write, you will get this. If not, you'll get this. So default parameter, this was a default parameter. So this is how you can the default parameters were useful, right? So we have already completed the session arrow functions, right? So let's write through arrow functions also. So if you remember that, you can proceed. And yes, const, I'm gonna use multiply. I've already told you that const, and here you have to use a variable name, is equals to, and here in the brackets you have to keep the parameters. So here for one parameter I am not going to give any default value. For another parameter I am going to give the default value. Right here I am going to use the arrow function, and then a into b. Right here I have used the b value as 1, and a value I am not using anything. Okay, so let's keep it in the console. Multiply of, so what are the variable a comma b, right? So here you should not use a comma b, and I'm going to take the value of a first. I'm going to take as 5, and I'll just copy this and then paste here, and again I'm going to take like 3 comma 7. Here only one value I have taken, right? So it will be directly applied here to here. So if you take two values, the value of b will be replaced with 7, right? So let's see the output. So here you can see 5 and 21. So for the first value a, the value is 5. So 5 ones are 5. For the second one, for a it is 3, and for b it is 7. So 3 sevens 21. So this is how you can use it in the arrow functions also, the default values, the default parameters, right? Now let us know about the rest parameter. So rest parameter will allow a function to accept any number of arguments. So there is no particular, like you have to when you define two variables, when you define a function, if you take only two variables as parameters, when you are calling the function you have to give only two values. There is no that particular condition when you are using the rest parameters, because you can take any number of arguments, right? So let's see what is how we can do that. So function for normal, I mean like without any rest parameters, what is the problem? Let's see. So here I am going to print the arguments. So now I'm going to call the function and I'm going to arrange like too many values, like 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've kept too many arguments, right? 8 arguments. But I did not took anything here. So let's see what is the output. So here you can see we got like this, right? So but when you use the rest parameters, you can call any number of arguments, dot dot dot. So for example, numbers I will take. Okay. So you can call any number of arguments. I'm going to change the function now. Let total is equals to 0. Okay. Total is equals to 0. For I'm going to use a for loop here. For let I of for of loop numbers, sorry, numbers. So I'm going to add it to the total. Total plus equals to this, I, right? I have took I right here. So I. So after this I'm going to return the total. Return the total. Right. And then you can keep it in the console. Console dot log of sum of all these all these arguments. And if you want for the next execution, I want only like 3 values to get executed. Okay, for the next time I want only 5, like 4, 7, 8, 2, 1, right? So actually without rest parameters, you have to take only the similar number of arguments, right? You can't take any number of arguments. Whatever you want to take, you cannot take like that, right? So you have to take the similar number of arguments. But now using the rest parameter, I have took 8 parameters and then 3 parameters and then 5 parameters, sorry, arguments. These are arguments. So first I have take 8 arguments and then 3 arguments and then 5 arguments. So I have taken like this. Let's see the output. So here you can see first we got 36. All these, the addition of all these is 36. And the addition of these is 12. And the addition of these is 22. So that's what we have got here. So that is how this rest parameters were useful. So okay, now let us know through the arrow functions. So const, I'm going to find the max value here. So as well, the rest parameters I'm going to take nums. Here I am going to use the math function, math dot max of the nums. So I'm going to call of max value of, I'm going to keep like 1, 2, 3, 9, again the same. Here I am going to take 13, 29, 11, right? So let's run the code. So here you can see in the first when we call the function, the highest number is 9. And then when we call the function, the highest number is 29. So that's what we have got here. So this is how the default parameters and rest parameters were useful, right? That's it.